Alrighty, we are live from Columbus, OH, and this is the Ramsey Show After Show. Great, we are live. So, alright, audio is working nicely. And if you don't know me, I am Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach. And for my financial content, you're watching this on youtube.com/Coach Steve Money. This is the main page. You just scroll down past the Oak Island playlist and you'll see the Ramsey Show After Show playlist. And this is episode 452. There's 137 answering your financial questions streams as well in that playlist, and the music playlist has 11 Ramsey adjacent songs in there, so check those out, why don't you? Market report. And let's see, just barely down Dow Jones today and the Russell 2000 small cap index. But the NASDAQ and the S&P 500, again, up today. So, and of course, NASDAQ more than doubling it over the S&P 500. So do not sleep on your large cap managed funds for sure. So you can take advantage of how much people love tech. See what the rest of the planet is like. Everything up in Europe, bless them. Everything down in Asia, bless them as well. What's that US dollar doing? The euro's up over it. US dollar up over the yen. The British pound, love, up over the US dollar. Canadian dollar up over the US dollar. And the Australian dollar mate said no to being down today to the US dollar. So it is up over the US dollar. Futures tomorrow also looking good here. So apparently somebody got some good news. Let's just see if, I mean, a lot of times these articles are like guessing why the market went down or up. But let's see what's a Dow Jones firm is Jensen. No, it wasn't firm. It went down, my dog. Palantir mauled on this. Okay. I don't know on what though. Well, we don't need all that junk. Palantir is a pharmaceutical company / stock. Is it going to be in this list? No, it's not. But big mover today, Micron Technology, and that of course helped in that NASDAQ. Anything big down? Intel down 3.36%, and so that did not help with the NASDAQ numbers. What's today? The 6th of January. On the 15th, JP Morgan Chase reports. And let's see what the most followed single stocks on the Google did today. And the most up, Meta, 4.23% up. And the least up, very rare for Tesla to be that low, up or down. So that's very interesting. NVIDIA leading chip stocks higher. And where is that? Is that going to be on here somewhere? Normally it is. Uh, 3.43% up today. Let's check the news while we're looking at it. Ulta Beauty, CEO. U.S. considering a ban on Chinese-made internet router that is probably already in your house. Yeah, could be. I mean, no matter what brand, the internals of it, they could be made in China. Who knows? And owned by a China company. Trump working on that universal tariff plan. some kind of key change. I'll take a look at that if I remember and get back to you on that tomorrow. McDonald's to launch the McValue national menu as it looks for a boost from diners and investors. Yeah, so they're gonna have a little bit lower cost. It's still gonna cost too much, though. Of course. Ars Technica, Disney makes antitrust problem go away by buying majority stake in competitor, and that's how you do that. That's how you do that. You know, and of course you can buy Fubo. If you can buy freaking Lucasfilm, you can buy Fubo for sure. Massive tuna sells for $1.3 million at Japan auction. Look at that. That's a lot for one tuna, though, regardless. Video shows flame shooting from plane wing during a scary landing, I bet. They're not generally supposed to do that. Tesla's full self-driving computer failure is leaving customers in bad situations. Yeah, you know, probably rolled that out too early. Probably rolled it out too early before enough testing. So, unfortunate. Let's see. It's Burr. This was the wind chill at 4 p.m. Eastern, January 6th today? Yeah, okay. Oh, it must auto update. All right. So actually no, I'm sorry, that was an hour and a half ago. But this is the wind chill factor, and you can see here Ohio, where I am, looking about 14 degrees, and so it's not humid over here. It's not tepid at all over here. A little chilly, so not enjoying that. Even where I used to be, it looks like it's around freezing. So, but these states here, I guess they don't get to participate in the polar vortex right here as well as South America down there. They don't get to participate. But let's see, our pal CP that designed my logos, he's somewhere here in the negative wind chill, and I believe all this would be, Fahrenheit. All this is Fahrenheit. So I'm sure, I mean, negative 11 probably is nothing for him. You probably got to get into the negative 30s or something for him to really feel it up there in the Canada. Marshall, what up? Please smash the like button, or you know, your choice. I don't like to tell you how to do it. You can lightly graze on it if you'd like, and that will still register that. This from 12:01 p.m. Eastern Time today. Record snowfall total in Ohio, specifically Cincinnati, Ohio. Total snowfall of 8.4 inches of snow. Oh, Sunday, my bad. That's my bad. On Sunday, yesterday, and that broke the daily record of 6.9 inches set in 1977, which was the year that first Star Wars movie came out. Speaking of Lucasfilm and Disney, see how it all goes together. It all goes together. Dayton saw we get a bunch of calls from Dayton on the Ramsey show. Saw 2.7 inches of snow Sunday, tying a daily record set in 1903. And yeah, it's still going to be falling through until about midnight tonight here. And so there's, you know, a bunch of places that have it, you know, worse than this, where the roads would even be. Where we're going, we don't need roads. Where the roads would even be constantly full of snow as well. Let's do some questions. What up, AJ with the OHIO? Did you see your team is playing Saturday? Playing Saturday there, and oh, I forgot who it is that is at the Texans. Cannot recall. Washington at the Buccaneers is Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Ohio State is Friday night against at not really at Texas, but the game they're playing the game in Dallas, so that is kind of at Texas, but we'll see how that works out. Generally, Ohio State fans travel well, so we'll see how many tickets they manage to get for the Cotton Bowl, which is the third round of the college playoff. All right. Oh, this from one fun 7648, feeling less motivated after the holidays. I get that because I enjoy the holidays so much. I like it so much, the Christmas season. And then when it's over, you do feel the letdown of it. I try to keep it an even keel, and I try to keep it that kind of feeling with me all year long, but you do feel it for sure. And especially if you spent a lot of money on Christmas and you have debt, of course, that's going to make you feel less motivated. But let's dive in and see. And I see the dots at the end, so it's a book, and that's not too bad. We'll get through it quickly. I am on baby step 2. Pardon me. And of course, that is going to affect your holidays because you shouldn't be spending anything. And so that can, the residual guilt or just, not being happy that you're in that situation where you can't spend any money is oh, we're good. All right. Just checking. My webcam's at a bad angle. I thought it slipped or something, but we're good. Oh, going. Chargers at the Texans. AJ going. He going. Base step 2, and man, the holiday gatherings with family really got me feeling down. All right, sure. Wasn't on the Ramsey plan through last Christmas. So I actually ended up in credit card debt to get nice gifts for everyone because I didn't make much at the time. Last Christmas? You mean the Christmas before the last one? Wait a minute, what was it, 7 days ago? So yeah, that was still after Christmas, but maybe means Christmas 2023 here, and ending up in the credit card debt. That's when I realized something needed to change, and that is a good thing to realize. This year I was able to get a job in my career field. That's always good as well. Now that I'm out of school, so I make $76,000, which really helped me knock out a lot of debt. Great. Sold the new car I bought myself as a present for graduating school. Dumb. Yep. Good job selling it. Good idea. Buying it originally bad. And bought a 1999 Toyota RAV4 in cash for cheap. Approved. I ate cheap food. Picked up hiking as a free hobby, so I wasn't spending any more money on entertainment. Just the $30 yearly pass to be able to park for the hikes. Okay. Skipped out on the yearly trip to Sweden my family takes over Thanksgiving to visit grandparents, and overall just really put my head down to clear the debt. I ended up paying off the $4,000 in credit card debt from last Christmas, $20,000 car loan, and $20,000 of my student debt. I just have to now. If you think that $20,000 for the RAV4, oh no, that's in cash for cheap. Okay. So I don't know how there's a $20,000 car loan involved. Because if you sold the car, that would pay it off. I mean, I guess it still counts as you paying it off, though. Let's see, in 20,000 of my student debt, I just have 16,000 more on my student loans until I'm done. So the finish line is near, but I feel like I've hit a wall. It was really hard getting through the holidays this year. I spent Thanksgiving alone because I couldn't afford to travel with the family. Sure, I mean, I get that. And when Christmas rolled around, I had about 20 people on my list and knew there was no way I could afford to gift everyone something nice like the previous year. Sure. I tried to gift things that I had made, like baked goods, and that's exactly what you're supposed to do. And paintings, and I spent a lot of time on, and because that's great. That's what you should be doing. You spend your time to make those things instead of just money. Um, bu- 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 bum, um, oh, I really wasn't expecting their comments about how now I'm making such a high income. I should have spent money on everyone. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and say anybody that said that is not your friend. And if they're your family member, you can't choose that, but you can choose how much you interact with them. And so that, they're being selfish. I don't know. They're being judgmental, whatever. Let's see. We also do Christmas potluck style, so everyone brings a dish to share. I thought scalloped potatoes is something that was relatively inexpensive to make and tastes great, right? It's honestly one of my favorite ways to consume potatoes, sure. Other people in my family brought prime rib lobster, elaborate salads, charcuterie platter, shrimp cocktails, smoked salmon, etc. Expensive stuff, sure. My aunt actually made a comment on why I didn't bring something nice like the smoked ham I made last year. Didn't wanna. Trying to pay off debt. Auntie, you don't get a vote on it? Sorry. This mostly ran, I guess. Yes, it is. Just feeling pretty bad about how the holidays went and not looking forward to lots of January, February birthdays in my family where my thoughtful but inexpensive gifts won't be appreciated. Well, I mean, that's up to you if you even give them at all. If they're not going to be appreciated, why even put any effort at all? Asked my cousin what he wanted, and he said either a car part that's $1,700. Oh my goodness. Or if I want to go cheap, I could get him lights for his bike that are $400. Okay, you just gotta, you might have to distance yourself from a lot of these family members. Because this cousin has no idea of reality, or either his parents are super rich. So that's a no, and I understand what it is, but it's these people are bringing you down, but also you may have some guilt about it as well. And maybe sad that you can't just do that, but apparently you're too smart to just go into debt on this stuff or even spend your money on that kind of thing while you still have debt. So you're smarter than that. So you won't let yourself be dumb anymore, and that's actually a good thing. But I get it, and so especially, the holidays bring out stuff in people, good and bad, for sure. And so I get it, but I would, these aren't nice people. These are not good people. Good people don't say things like your family is saying. Hopefully, it's only the ones you mentioned, and not all of them. But I would limit contact with the ones that are not on board with you making your financial situation better. Unfortunately, I don't have any better advice than that. If it's really bad, maybe counseling, but you said this is mostly just a rant. Yeah, and so probably knows all this stuff already. But yeah, I would that's when you can't be around people like that continuously do that. And it being family is different. You don't get to choose those. You do get to choose how much you interact with them though, and how much of their BS you're willing to just smile and try to put a good spin on it back to them, to their face. So that's up to you. Marshall says, give that cousin $20 cash gift card towards car bike. That's right. And done. Good job. Good job, Marshall. You right. Electronic Heat 2236. When should you sell your primary house to pay off debt? Good question. Let's see, I have $70,000 in debt I can't pay off, but selling my house would net me positivity. Should I sell my house to do it? Okay, so what the person is talking about here is cannot pay the 70 off immediately, like he doesn't have 70,000 in savings, that kind of thing. So what do you mean you can't pay it off over time? So if you could pay it off over time, then it's up to you basically whether you keep your house. And of course, we would recommend you to sell it if it's too much house to begin with. Like if you got it on a 30-year mortgage so you could afford the payments, too much house. Sell it. Downgrade to a cheaper house, that kind of thing. A lower mortgage payment, something like that. Sacrifice in other ways. I mean, you could even, for this house, your primary house. And also, hey, guess what? You shouldn't have any other houses if you have 70K debt. So if you have rental property, if you have any other kind of assets that are more like toys, which would be any real estate other than your primary house. So there's a bunch of questions I would have for this person. When you should. You don't always have to do that, but if it's too much house, and again, it can be the quick fix for this. If you have 70,000 in equity in the house, then you would have a blank slate. If it's worth more, then you have your some of your full emergency fund too, or maybe all of it. So it's not a black and white thing about should you do that or not. So, and you can, as I said, even if it's a little bit too much house, but you really love it and want to stay there. And also, perhaps we ask a spouse, if a spouse lives there as well, and you don't just decide yourself about that. But you can keep it if you sacrifice in other areas. That means you don't, if you got to have a nice house, that's too much house and you want to keep it, then guess what? You are going to drive crappy cars for a long time. And if you have a Richie car right now, which includes some of that 70K in debt, hey, you can sell that, whatever, $20,000 car, 30,000, whatever dumb car it is, you could sell it and get a very cheap car. And stay in beater cars for a long time while you pay that house off. So, but that's up to you as far as that. But as far as a recommendation, I would have to have the more information and why he said primary house or she. So, I'm curious. Let's just take a wander. I do this sometimes. Take a wander through the comments. So we get this kind of question often here, and so the quick fix, and so of course you don't want that to happen if you're gonna just go back into debt again. There's no need to do that because you're already in debt, so you don't need to pay it off and then take out more. I'm just looking for the OP to see if OP. Answer, not really caring what people are commenting really, but I want to hear, let's see what the one said. This is nuts. Very myopic. To truly win financially in life, you must be thinking in the long term. That is true. He says not to tell you sell your home unless it's to stop bankruptcy. That is false. That is false. OK Court 3575. False. Most times selling will end up costing you more because renting is more expensive in most areas. You are dumb as crap. He does want you to have a mortgage, but if it's too much house, you sell it as well. Or again, you are cutting out, you're doing the equal of that amount of cash flow by cutting out other expenses and living very cheaply in all other areas than the house. Just want to see if any of them say OP, and they do not. OP, the original poster, did not weigh in here, so we don't have any other information on this. So, but it would depend on all those items as far as what I would recommend. But yeah, you gotta love that where people think Dave said something or they interpret it wrong and they say Dave says to do this, and they're full of crap, of course. New Progress 8759 says debt snowball or debt relief program. You don't need a debt relief program, because a lot of times what the debt relief program would do would be to, well, let me read it first and see if they see if they give more details on this debt relief program. Hi everyone, hi guys. I need help and opinions on what to do here. I have a total of $15,980.59 in credit card debt. Across all of them, I pay $611 in minimum payments. I remember those days. Not quite that much, but I remember it. And cannot afford anything else. Probably haven't cut the budget. Would it be wise to go through a debt program that offers 0 interest and $280 a month, or should I do debt snowball? But with debt snowball, would it be smart to stop paying all minimum payments on all cards and attack individual cards with the full $611 instead? Just lost what to do. Part of baby step 0 is you get current and then you stay current. You pay minimums on everything and then you put any extra to the lowest one. So you need to cut some stuff out. You need to sell something. You need to do something drastic to get some margin in there so that you can attack the debt. But so what the debt relief programs usually do, and some that say debt consolidation, etc., and Dave gets calls about this all the time. You end up, they're going to have you send them that $280 a month to them, and they're going to keep all that money. They get to keep all that. So that could be thousands of dollars. If that's over $1,000. If it's 6 months, if you do it for 6 months, that's over $1,000. So if you do it for years, that's more. That's thousands of dollars. And guess what they're going to do for you paying that to them? They are going to not pay those bills at all. They're going to go into collection. Your credit score, if you care about that, we don't here, of course, but if you care about that, be it known. And they don't tell you sometimes. It might be in stuff you sign, but they don't point it out to you that your credit's going to be destroyed because you're not making payments on those things. And the reason they don't pay them is so that they go into collection so that they can sell them for pennies on the dollar later. And of course they will negotiate that for you. But then guess what? None of the money that you have paid them, each $280 each month, none of that money goes towards paying those off. You have to come up with all of that money yourself. So you could just not pay it and then wait for it to go into collections and then try to settle it later. You could do that yourself and keep your thousands of dollars. So, and that would be what Dave would do. Dave would pay it off. And we need to take a look at your budget, because you said you don't have any margin, and it's like things that you don't want to give up. But guess what? You can. I've never seen a budget where I couldn't say this is not 100% necessary, so you don't do this for a short time. Because people always have those things in there. And so I always have recommendations on things to cut. What else? Biscotti, no. 18, no. It's like they're trying to put an R at the end of it. It's so weird. I heard an Australian person talking on the YouTube last night, and they put in a word like no, they put kind of like an R at the end. They put the A in there as well, in AO, nay, and then a nair. They have that little R sound in there at the end. But then if it ends with R, they don't say it. They leave the R out of off the end of the word that ends in R. So weird. Savings versus debt. Okay. Did I do that one before? Yeah, I think this one switched places with another ones. And you do not have extra savings beyond the $1,000 emergency fund while you're paying off non-mortgage debt, which is step 2 right here. An ad. It says promoted. I want to be promoted. Raja. Paid off $22K in credit card debit in 1 year. I did that one too. 10 million milestone. Did not do that one. Fire code machine. I've been a long time. Oh, we got a lot of stuff here. Probably for me to just say congratulations, but I'll skim it here. Let's see a bit about living below your means, baby steps. While we followed many of Ramsey's principles, we've also made a few strategic deviations from his baby steps to maximize our net worth. More on that later. Okay, I don't really care. You can do whatever you want with your own money. And it's not going to be there's not going to be 10 mortgages and a $2.8 million liability. That's not going to do that. So if you're happy about your net worth, that's great. But you having almost $3 million worth of debt to have $10 million net worth, that's going to be a no. That's going to be a no, sir. So, good. Didn't have to read it all after all. Okay. But, I mean, people, you can make money doing things other ways, but the Ramsey method is the proven way. And also, that person is not out of debt, which is key for the Ramsey advice, for you to be out of debt. And that person is debt leveraging, and that's also, Mr. Ramsey's just not the debt leverage guy or the debt guy. He's not. He's the anti-debt leverage guy. Slight damage, 6956. I'm debt-free. Sold the house. Closed the shop. Bought a ticket to the West Coast. Sold my house to finally help baby step 1, 2, and 3 stick. All right. And on to baby step 4. Allowed myself a little Christmas splurge. Then going to stick to the learned budgeting behavior. Okay. Learned budgeting behavior is advised. I think I will be in the afraid to spend mode for a while. That's fine. I follow on baby step 2. That's absolutely, oh no. Okay, so if you have baby step 3 done now, then you are in baby step 4. So you can spend a little bit. You can budget extra for Christmas, sure. No problem. You can even spend money. I don't know why you would be afraid. Unless it's that you have tried to do this before and baby steps 1, 2, and 3 didn't stick because you didn't stick to the behavior. So if you're afraid you might get back into debt, then sure, I get it why you wouldn't want to spend money. I followed these steps for 15 years. Yeah, that's, I mean, that's a long time to only be in step 4 now. So you haven't followed the steps. If you had followed the steps, you would be further along in 15 years. Now, granted, some of the stuff that put you back, your setbacks, that expenses that came up, all of that wasn't 100% necessary, I'm sure. Like, for example, if you had a car breakdown and then you think you have to buy a $20,000 car, that kind of thing. So that would be dumb. And so that would make it take you longer. That's why it takes you 15 years to get into baby step 4, and that is not advised at all. Let's see, and had debt of a few sorts and a couple critical illnesses. Well, critical illnesses, that's a ball game as well. And so, I'll give this person a little bit of break here because of that, of course. But 15 years is still a long time. And lived on cash as a single parent, that can affect it as well. I didn't do everything the Dave way all the time, but when I finally did, it went much smoother and quicker. Imagine that. Imagine that. The guy that's been giving the advice for 30 years, whose plan has proven to work millions of documented times, and when you stuck to it, it worked for you too. Imagine that. Met with a Ramsey referred financial planner and a tax professional to determine what to invest where. For baby step 4, it works, and this feels unbelievable. Baby step 4, congratulations on getting there. Better late than never for sure. And this person might have even got to step 4, doesn't say age, might have gotten to step 4 faster than I did, earlier in life than I did, rather. And so, that's awesome. Either way, you're there now, no matter what happened. So, and apparently the critical illnesses apparently okay, because apparently still able to work and do the steps and invest and so forth. So that's fabulous. Super Whisper 121. Emergency savings versus day-to-day money. Those are two different things. I don't understand. Let's find out. I usually keep my emergency savings in a separate account and then day-to-day money in another. That's fine. No problem. My day-to-day account uses something similar to every dollar, but just an Excel spreadsheet, okay? Well, it doesn't use it. You are the one doing it, Excel spreadsheet. Unless it's something you're importing from the bank. Or if you're, or maybe from the bank, like website or app, you can export a spreadsheet of your expenses. Maybe that you could be doing that as well. Let's see. My day-to-day account often has more money than my emergency fund, as I have yearly expenses. Okay. I'm saving for. Oh, I have yearly expenses I'm saving for, or longer term savings, goals, car, or house. Well, you shouldn't be having any of that while you still have debt, baby step 2. There's no long term savings. You just have the emergency fund. There's no down payment saving. You just have the emergency fund. So if that's the case, you're doing it wrong. My partner wants to invest more, of course. As they look at the bank account and see we have a bunch of money there. Do we need emergency savings? $30,000 and a bank account $75,000? Or can I take some of the money from emergency to invest in TFSA? I am risk averse, but I do see the logic in their opinion. Their opinion. All right. So, all this depends on what baby step. And I am very curious. Let's take a quick look for OP. Oh, there we go. OP. See, it says that there. Although I'll probably find a middle ground between my hyper-vigilant saving and high-yield savings account and my partner's request to invest more. And so it didn't say what baby steps. What baby step? If it was baby step 2, none of this is happening. If they actually are on baby step 4, also, and are married, would also be the advice, and not just a partner. Boo, boo, boo. Choo, choo, choo. Yeah, I mean it's fine to have separate accounts. So, I mean, as long as you're not hiding it in a separate account, as long as, if it's going to make your partner less anxious about needing to invest it because you say, well, this is the blank yearly expenses fund. And so then he won't want to, or she won't want to, or they won't want to, invest it then in that case, and so that's fine as well. Yeah, never said what baby step in there. So I mean, it's very important. It's very important because again, none of this happens if it's on baby step 1, 2, or 3. You're not doing that. You don't have all this savings. You do not have that. You have $1,000 emergency fund, and everything else goes to debt. You don't have any extra. You can have a bank account and money in your bank account, but 75,000 is a lot though. And I do get that. It's like what's that going to? Like, how many different things is that going to, and is that all accounted for in just like your regular checking that you would pay regular expenses out of? And how much is it for, what do they say, long-term savings goals, or car or house repairs? Yeah, so again, it depends on how much you would do that. And of course, you wouldn't do any of that unless you were on baby step 4. Otherwise, it's just a full emergency fund on baby step 3, or the $1,000 emergency fund on baby step 1 and 2. But yeah, you can. I always say you can have it in as many accounts as you need. You can do the accounting, any of that stuff. And the budgeting. You can do that stuff any way that helps you do it better, that helps you keep track of it. I'm a fan of all of that. Anything that helps you do that, I would recommend. Just like a lot of people say, well, why should I spend the $80 or whatever Financial Peace University Ramsey Plus is these days? If it's going to help you do these steps and get through these steps faster, then it's well worth the $80 or however much it costs, for sure. And so if it's worth it, it's going to help you stick to the plan. Let's see. Am I the Ass Budget Goals Edition? Fun times. We are both the A, okay, for putting ourselves in this position. Not necessarily. You're not necessarily an A because you did that. I don't think I was. You can just say you were dumb. Sure. Dumb activity for sure. And I definitely was dumb. I don't know that I would consider myself an A, though. Let's see. Am I the A? Typed it wrong there. For telling my husband we should continue renting for another 18 months and throw our 11K at the debt plus other extra money for the next 12 months and then save up for down payment again. Yes, because you shouldn't be saving up for down payment. I don't know if you ever, you know what you are an ass for is not looking at the baby steps before typing this question. The answer is almost always here in the baby steps, and that's why I always have to look for that when they don't mention it, because that determines what you're doing. So you're not doing any down payment saving until baby step 3B, and if you have non-mortgage debt, you're on step 2. So yes, you are the A for not looking at the baby steps, because that would have answered your question. But I will maybe knows the baby steps front and backwards and can look at it all day long and can recite it all day long, but because it's their own little situation, they can't think clearly about it. And so, you have to kind of take yourself out of your own situation and pretend it's your brother or sister that you would be advising, when instead it's what you're deciding to do for yourself or any other loved one, what you would advise them using the baby steps. And you would eventually see, people think about, renting versus buying a house and so forth like that. And then they kind of, or maybe just blocked out the baby steps part that they didn't want to do. That happens as well. Let's see. Or should I listen to his very strong desire, need? He doesn't need to do it. No, he doesn't. As he puts, to keep 2 minimums on debt, save for down payment, and buy a house in 6 months. That's a no. That's a no. That house is going to be a curse, not a blessing in that case, because you're doing it wrong. Let's see, my husband 30 man and I 29 female make a combined $265,000 salary and 100 to 150K commissions annually. So 365 to 415 gross. Our income increased about 125K the last few months. Great. Is that going to continue being that amount though? Have a 2-year-old and infant. All right. Salary income then is approximately $13,250 per month, plus commission varies, but 3K to 10K net monthly. So you go on the lower amount. So that's $1625, and so you take out taxes. That's going to take you down to $12,000, something like that. Our debts are, look at this: medical, credit cards, student loans, auto and personal loans. Total $229,000, 680. Yeah, $229,680 is how you say that. How does that add up to that much? Hold on. Oh, the student loan is 144,000 of it. Okay, great. I thought that was 14,000. Payments of approximately. Yeah, you cannot buy that house. Do not buy that house. Do not buy that house. I mean, he's doing the math part of it, but on his calculator, and every calculator, there's no risk button. And so the house will not be a blessing, especially if you buy too much house because you can't afford it. After reviewing the budget, our necessary expenses, average $75.80 per month. Yeah, and that's a nay. So as I said, they have about what did I say? Oh, even with the commission, they have about 12,000 And so that would leave 4,500 a month extra. I mean, is the debt amount included in that? If that's not included in the necessity expenses, um, then you definitely can't afford it. Definitely can't afford it. Home and food, $5,000. So the problem is, and even if the gentleman was looking at the David Weiss, they make a bunch of money, but for let's go with 12,000 a month. That's over. That's what was it, 30, 35, coming up on 40%. Well, no, that's food as well. So it depends on how much they're spending too much in food for 3 people and an infant. You know, a small child and an infant. It's not that much on that. So, I mean, maybe 500, and that's still a lot a month, dog. That includes diapers and everything. And so that's gonna be 4,500. So yeah, that's too much. That's too much of a percentage. So you're doing it wrong. Even where you're renting right now is too much. Kids, childcare, 15, 20. So I would want to know how much is the childcare cost, and if both parents are making enough to warrant that. I don't think it says, yeah, it doesn't say different. It just says combined income. It doesn't say what each parent makes. So that would be in there. And so for like all kid expenses during the month and childcare, 15, 20, probably not that bad. A cost though, it just depends on if it's worth it. Personal, 300 a month. You know, these are high income earners. Cars and travel, 760. Okay, guess what? There's no travel. If you're talking about fun travel, you shouldn't be doing that either. That gets us to 13,250 minus 7,580 minus 4,600 equals 1,070 plus any commissions to throw at home, down payment, or debt. Yeah, you would throw it to debt. That's not a lot for the amount of money that you make. So yeah, baby steps in order always. You should not be saving a down payment now. You should be paying off that dumb debt. And with only $1,000 a month, it's gonna take forever. Let's see. What do we say it was? 229,000. So you got 229 months or so because there's interest, of course. So yeah. So I mean that's gonna take a while. That's gonna take a long time. So you need to cut stuff or work a lot more, move down even in the rental property you're in now if you're renting. Or unless this was planning for the house, meaning a house that they didn't buy yet, the mortgage payment plus food. So let's see. His argument is it is very important for us to buy a home, and that since we have so much extra income to throw at one of the goals, we will be able to tackle the debt after buying the home. How? How? Again, how? You said your extra is $1,000. A little bit over $1,000 is the extra per month. And guess what? When you buy a house, that generally adds extra expense as well. So this is a nay. Do not do that. So the budget goals edition, no, you're just doing dumb normal stuff. That's not being an ass. You're just doing the dumb normal stuff. So I was hoping somebody was going to be the ass, but even you. I mean, husband certainly doesn't want to follow Dave Ramsey's advice, and but even you are doing dumb crap still, and so don't do that. Let's see. What up, Mealer? AJ says, make your decisions on how you in 5 years will appreciate you made. Will appreciate that you made that particular decision is probably what AJ meant there. And yeah, that's, people don't think about the future when they do that. They always think about the future in that, well, if we go into debt for this now, then we'll have it as an asset later. That part they always think about. But when it comes to debt, taking it out, they won't ever think, well, oh, I won't pay this off. They don't ever think that. They think, oh, I'll just pay it off. I'll pay it off really quickly. And then guess what? They don't do it. And then they still have it. 15 years later, like the one person did, granted, critical illnesses. And so, but, stuff like that can happen. What else we got there? Just remember, AJ's not the brightest. It sounded really bad when, yeah, no. I mean, I figured it out. I was just trying to make the words make sense in English. But we figured it out. AJ. It's all good. Thank you for watching, by the way, sir. I was talking about, oh yeah, but like my favorite example of that is the student loan thing. People are like, oh well, yeah, student loans will always be worth it because you're gonna be an engineer, you'll make plenty of money. Yes, if you graduate, and yes, if you get the job, you'll be making a lot of money. But that's still not advised because it's not 100% certainty that you will not fail, that you will not flunk out. Guess what? People flunk out of engineering school all the time. And of course, the ever popular, oh, I'll sign this student loan and then I'll pay it off after I get a job in my degree field, and then they don't get a job in their degree field. Or my second favorite, then they want to stay home with babies instead of working to pay off the student loan. So, people don't ever think about the negative stuff. They only think everything is going to work out perfectly. Oh, this is so fun. Learning Finance 1. Oh, my goodness gracious me. I can't believe it. Pick and slop right here. 1 year of mostly. Oh, do I have it? Oh, I might have it. Do I have it? Do I have it? No, I didn't add it yet. Crud. All right. I thought I had the neat clip from Aliens where she says they mostly come at night. Mostly. I did get that, though. And, of course, it was in South Park. And that's how a lot of people know things now from parodies on South Park and Simpsons and Family Guy and stuff, and they know that, but not the original source material. It happens. It just means I'm old. 1 year mostly following the Dave Ramsey principles. How would Dave and you rate us? Well, since you only mostly did it, not that great. Let's see. We recently just hit the 1 year point of following Dave Ramsey principles. Although I feel like, for me, we've made some really good progress. I have some admittedly non-Dave Ramsey approved decisions as seen below. Okay. DIY kitchen renovation for $45. That's a nay. If you have, again, it depends on what baby step you're on. So I'm guessing that's a no. We'll see. And that wouldn't be a renovation. That's not a repair. That you don't need to do that until you finish paying off the house. Went on 2 vacations for it. Yeah, that's a no. Well, again, it depends on what baby step you're on. But definitely no to the kitchen renovation. No, 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 no. And failed at cutting out restaurants entirely. Depends on the baby step. If we're talking 2, you don't do any of this dumb, stupid crap, and you get an F automatically for failing to comprehend what you're supposed to do. Choosing not to do that, which you can do whatever you want to, but then why ask how Dave and I would rate you? I know this is a failure of the Dave Ramsey plan, and it feels bad. It's not a failure of the plan, it's a failure of the people saying they're doing the plan, or just doing part of it. That's the failure. The plan works fine, trust me. The only redeeming news is that we took on no additional debt for these expenditures. Yeah, that would be way worser, sure. So, and it could all be worser, way, way worser, and cut out all other undesirable financial behaviors. I don't believe you. I'm sure there's other stuff. We shredded our credit cards and have cash flowed every purchase we've made since. Here is our list of good decisions for the year. Great. Let's see them. Paid off almost $49,000 in credit card debt. Great. Paid off $197K in total debt. Great. Worked hard to achieve promotions and higher salaries. Great. Enjoyed the frugal mindset. Not enough. Apparently, okay, so this is a lie. You did not do that if you did this dumb butt stuff. Dumb as crap. So apparently they're in baby step 2. Yeah, you don't do any of this bull crap. Dumb, 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 dumb. And so you did not do this. If you had done this, embraced and enjoyed the frugal mindset, you wouldn't have done this dumb crap. Oh, we still owe 230 approximately. That's what that the utility means right there. Approximately $230,000. But instead of paying that off, let's do a kitchen renovation and go on 2 vacations and keep eating out at restaurants. Dumb as crap is how I would rate you. Of low-ish interest debt. Yeah, $550K total of counting house. So we certainly have more work to do, but I am optimistic that we can knock the remainder of baby step 2 out in 2025. As long as we turn up the intensity, yes. And as long as you don't come up with other ideas like this dumb crap here. Because guess what? Your house has way more rooms than just the kitchen. Vacations can still be taken. Restaurants are still out there. So, yes, you can do it, but you haven't done it before. So, it's up to you if you want to do that now. So far, you get an F. That's a no. That's a no. And because you know darn well you shouldn't have done that, too. That's the thing. It's like you're not, this is not like the people that are delusional and they look at the baby steps and they say, well, okay, this part just doesn't, I'm doing everything right. This part doesn't mean anything to me. Pay no attention to the baby steps on the right side of the web page there, right side of the screen. Where were we? It has been a major changing our lifestyles. Yeah, no crap. If it was easy, everybody would do it. But the sacrifice has been very much worth it. Right. And it would have been worth it even more if you had sacrificed not doing a freaking kitchen renovation and going on those 2 vacations. Wife and I still in 20s? Great. Still babies? Great. Got plenty of time. Plenty of time. If you are investing in retirement, Stop that crap right now. You have plenty of time to be in the market and save for retirement. You stop that right now. My advice, as always, how about you do, instead of your dumb way of doing it, which you know is not working correctly, how about you do the baby steps? That'd be a great idea. In our 20s, so I keep telling myself the work we do now will be the foundation for the rest of our lives. That's correct. And so the best way you can do it is the baby steps. So with all that being said, how would Dave Ramsey rate our 2024 performance on a scale of 1 to 100? How about you? So dumb. That's so dumb. Thank you for taking time to read and giving your honest feedback. Oh, let's see a couple. You're still moving the needle, but your efforts would be graded an F. Okay, that's what I said too. And I can't. I mean, it's not. I would, maybe a D minus. I'll go because they did pay off. What is it? 179K in total debt. So, and I don't know if that was in 1 year or not, though. Let's see. Might have been. Yeah, it doesn't specify, but yeah, how about you do the baby steps? Bothering to be on the Dave Ramsey subreddit, bothering to ask what your rating is. How about you rate yourself and be honest? You know you're doing it wrong. Let's see if George will disagree with me or agree. Sometimes he agrees.
You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong.
Yeah. And that's what this person just needs, that constantly in the brain going, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. But no, gotta have a kitchen renovation. Gotta go on the vacation. God of War 2077. Why the poor almost more generosity? All right, maybe not American, maybe not British either. So it would be, why are the poor almost always more generous? That's what that would be. Let's see, was working in food deliveries for a couple years, and always those from poor areas with old bad houses. It gave me much more tips, many more tips, much more in tips than those from rich areas and big, expensive, good-looking houses. Also saw a social experiment on YouTube. Guy was dressed as homeless and asked for $1 to buy food. Only the homeless and the poor agreed to give him. Yeah, that can happen. Yeah, the people with more money, that's one of the reasons they have more money, is because they're greedy and they don't want to do any giving. And so, yeah, that's going to happen. And so, but not all the poor aren't like that. You can't paint it like that. But yeah, that does happen sometimes, where the richies want to keep their money. And some of them also, they may be thinking, well, if I pay for this person to do this, then they don't have any reason to go get a job. That kind of thing as well would be thought. So it's not as black and white as you are. Doesn't matter if it's black or white. Down, 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 down. I did bet 39.46 38K to the IRS on a payment plan, wondering if lump sum can minimize penalties and interest. It would depend on the payment plan you agreed to them. You'd have to ask the IRS about that. Check if you got paperwork on that, look at your paperwork on it. So currently I have $20,000 in liquid cash available. Why didn't you pay it before you put money on a payment plan? That was dumb as crap. So, but yeah, you can ask them about that. You check your paperwork. Why the whole life hate? Because it sucks. What is this? I need to learn stuff. Yes, you do. I really like Dave Ramsey. I enjoy listening to his show, and if it weren't for our differences in life insurance, I would be in baby step 7. But I am in 2. Yeah, debt leveraging. So you wouldn't be if you have more than difference in life insurance. You have a difference in debt leverage as well. And I would say that would be the bigger problem, would be the debt leverage thing. So that's a no. You do not have baby step 2, non-mortgage debt. You do not have that so that you can have savings or some other kind of investment. That's a no, 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 no. So it's not a good investment. Let's see, I have a large whole life policy with a line of credit secured against the policy. Yeah, that's dumb as crap. Don't do that. You can make more money by getting term life. That will take care of the life insurance part of it. And then you can invest what you're putting in there, and you will make more money than in this stupid whole life policy. You are so dumb, sir or madam. The line of credit has been used for investing. Yeah, so yeah, trying to velocity banking. They call this all kinds of dumb crap. So I just can't wrap my head around collapsing the policy that the cash value and death benefit grow so nicely every year. What am I missing? You're missing that when you die, it pays out the death benefit, but any cash value you have not taken out before you died goes to them. That's what you missed. And you've missed it's not as much growth as you could do in your own investing account. So that's why the whole life hate, because it's a bad investment. Shouldn't be an investment in the life insurance. Okay, and this another whole life. Honest routine 5477 canceled whole life. Now what? A financial advisor, quote unquote, got me with a whole life policy. Dumb as crap. I was able to stop it after about 7 years. I have about 14,000 in cash value and put about 20,000 into the policy with premiums. Okay. Well, then you should have 14,000 if you cash it out, minus any fees, of course. The salesman, yep, that's not a financial advisor, it's a salesman, you're right. So the policy will still grow, but not as much as if I was paying premiums into it. Right. It's a bad product, sir. I was wondering what I should do with the cash that I have to loan out at 8%. What do you mean loan out? What are you talking about? What should I do with the cash that you're not borrowing? If you're doing that dumbass crap too, that velocity banking stuff, borrowing a line of credit secured against the policy, if you're doing that dumb crap too, and that's what you're talking about, you should do nothing with it. You should cash out the $14,000 and get term life insurance. Actually, you get the term life insurance first before you cancel the whole life to make sure that you can get it. You have that in place first, and then you cancel the whole life, and then you get your 14,000 minus, I'm sure, a bunch of fees and stuff for ending the investment there. And so then you would use that money instead. And that's more money. And you can make more money with it investing in things yourself. And of course, you wouldn't even be doing that at all if you were on baby step 2, if you have any debt. So that's what now what. Deleted, got too hot for this person. Apparently 7 comments. Didn't want to, didn't know, well, if I post here, I'm going to get notifications when somebody comments on it. Oh no. So you delete your username. Let's see. Car loan mortgage advice needed. Recently sold a property I had with an ex. Great. So you should do. I'm staying with family for now while I find a place to buy on my own, but this has been hard to do. The fact I have a car loan. The car loan is significantly reducing the value of property. What? Recently sold the property. What other property are you talking about? I mean, if it's a liability, it's a debt you owe, and so you have to subtract that. If you have other property, it's gonna from the asset that's gonna subtract from the amount. Is that what you're talking about? I'm lost here. Let's see. Uh, reducing the value of property I'm able to purchase, but if I pay off the car loan, then I won't be able to buy anywhere now, as that money is the deposit for a new place. Don't buy, rent. Let's see. So do I pay off the car loan and rent? Yes. And know exactly where I am? Yes, and rent. And save more per month, but have to wait 12 to 18 months to buy a place? Yes. Or keep the loan, but buy a cheaper and not as nice property? No, you don't do that. While you have step 2 debt, you do not buy a house. That's a no, 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 no. And it's, most of the time the answers are right here. Unless it's some existential crisis you're having in your head, or, like just on behavior itself, that kind of thing. Otherwise, the answer's always right here in the baby steps, and it always applies to you, whether you think it does or not. And whether you admit it or not, it does. Whether you can see it or not, it does. Drill Raider, emergency funds, baby step 1 versus baby step 3. See what this is all about. Oh, I forgot to. Cannot. There we go. Choo, choo, choo. It just started right around 30 years old, 6 years ago. 2019. Would that be Ramsey Ishing, AJ? I don't know what you guys are talking about. I missed a bunch of stuff. Or investing. Emergency funds, baby step 1 versus baby step 3. Baby step 1, of course, the starter emergency fund should only be $1,000. You don't save any more than that. You pay off debt instead. Baby step 3 is the full emergency fund. You do not start that until you have paid off all of your non-mortgage debt. Here we go. Why is Dave not as draconian about the emergency funds for baby step 3 as he is for baby step 1? Now, draconian, my friend, is that you're exaggerating. You're being dramatic about the situation. And now if you're talking about, well, let's see what he's talking about. Why give it a range instead of just saying it has to be? Because on the starter emergency fund, it needs to be a little bit, it needs to be enough to cover a small emergency, but not be excessive. And so that's why there's a number on that. On baby step 3, if you have paid off all your debt, or best case scenario, you never had any non-mortgage debt, and you can immediately go into 3, then you are in a better spot and probably smarter by the time you would get to baby step 3, that you would be able to handle figuring out whether you need 3 to 6 months of expenses. So like a single person renting, 3 months is probably fine. The more family members you have, like immediate family that lives with you, the more children you have. If you have a mortgage, then I always recommend 6 months for that. And so that's what that is all about. Any guidelines on whether it should lean closer to 3 months or 6 months? Yes, and probably some of the 19 comments have informed him of life, and I don't know why that wouldn't occur to you naturally. If it says it can be 3 to 6 months, I would think you would decide Well, how much, if I have 3 months, let's see, I have a wife and 5 kids. Um, is 3 months emergency fund gonna be okay for me, or would 6 months be better? I would go with six at that point. And I even recommend it for anybody that has a mortgage, that has a house, because you have additional things that go wrong with a house. And so I would get that in place even before saving the down payment, even if previously you were fine with a 3 month emergency fund. Don Melody, 92. Okay, maybe that's a name. I'm ready. 2025 will be the year of debt freedom. Excellent. I've been Dave-ish for 3 years. I'm ready to be a gazelle. Excellent. Excellent. That will make it get done faster than if you are Dave-ish. Jessica Lynn, 77, 4 walls challenge to build emergency fund. What? Let's see. My mortgage is my only debt. Great. I don't have an emergency fund. However, my bills are paid a month ahead. January's check pays February's bills, so I can reallocate money if something goes belly up. I get Social Security disability of $13.75 per month. I'm thinking of doing a 4 walls only challenge for as long as it takes to build a full emergency fund. Yes, do that. Yes. Let's see. I mean, you can start with some of the, and so you aren't paying it a month ahead. If you want to keep the month ahead, that's fine, but you still have a full emergency fund of at least 6 months, if not more. You shouldn't have more than a 6 month emergency fund unless you are on step 7. So still paying off. Still paying off the mortgage. So you would do that before having 6 months. That's debt leverage to not pay off the house and have more in savings than your 6 month emergency fund. Food, groceries, not restaurants. Yeah, shelter, transportation, essential clothes. And that means hardly any is what essential means. Some people have a strange idea of need and essential. Is this doable? Yeah, why wouldn't it be? My monthly expenses, mortgage for $50 includes extra to principal and escrow. All right. Yep, you should be doing that. You should be doing steps 4, 5, and 6 if they apply to you. And 6 definitely does. 4 should as well. Let's see, Social Security disability. If you don't need it to live on, you could be investing it. Let's see. Homeowners Association, they take a bite. Electric. If I can forego this if an emergency happens, as my bill is always in credit, right? So that basically gives you an extra month. So you would have your emergency fund and an extra month if you continue to do it that way. But yeah, I would definitely do that. So you can get your emergency fund. Let's see if there's anything else. Overthinking it too much now. Maybe one roast from a treat. I use food banks as a last resort. I live in Oklahoma City. There ain't no love in Oklahoma. Just the whistle of a long black train. And shop mainly at Aldi's and Winco. I don't know what that is. I'm guessing it's a cheap grocery store. Buy my cleaning supplies at the Dollar Tree. Okay. So yeah, definitely do that. Cut your lifestyle. Do whatever you can to get that full emergency. You should still be going gazelle intense on steps 1, 2, and 3. 3 being the full emergency fund. So yes, you should still be doing that. Oh, it's 6 years. 6 years issuing. Yep. AJ, 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 AJ. AJ, have you done the math to see what if you be done? if you'd be on step 7 if you weren't being ishy. Marsh, I have to go to make dinner. Yeah, I just went long today since I missed a day last week, and I didn't do a weekend stream, so I'm just going long today. So no worries, Marshall. Thank you for attending. Much appreciated. AJ might be out too, but yeah. That'd be interesting, AJ, if you see what the difference is. If you hadn't been ish. Okay, order 95.95. How can I help my mom change her spending habits? That's, I don't know. I mean, you can tell her all the stuff. You can tell her the baby steps. You can hopefully tell her how the baby steps and changing your spending habits has improved your finances. You can tell her that and just be a good example, but it's hard to do that. Because first of all, she has to want to do it. If she doesn't want to do it, she's probably not going to do it. And you know, Dave's for everything is saying, you know, parents, if anybody that's changed your diaper does not want to hear you talk to them about money or sex. So, let's see. Hope you're having a great start to the new year. I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to change my mom's spending habits and to help her get out of credit card debt. She has to want to do it. Again, that's first. If she doesn't want to do it, it's probably not going to work. Even if she will do it just for you or to get you to shut up or whatever. Just for a couple weeks, something like that, and then she'll fall back into the same stuff. She doesn't know a crazy amount, but her current balance is $6,000 at 0% interest, APR. So for the next 2 months. So that means she moved something around instead of paid it off. And why would that have been? After that, it'll be approximately 29%. Yeah. It's only $6,000. Pay it off. My goodness gracious me. This is her only debt. I'm 26 and make $110K a year base pre-tax. I also have $6K in credit card debt. I know. Yeah. So you're not changing yours. You're not changing your spending habits and paying off debt habits. So I would work on yourself before worrying about mom. 6K done. Cash flowing. You don't cash flow paying off debt. I mean, I guess you technically do, but that's not called cash flowing. That's called paying it off. And we'll pay it off by the end of January. Okay, great. And then you can say, you know what you can say then? You can say, hey, Mom, guess what I did today? I paid off my last credit card. And that is so awesome. I'm doing this thing called the baby steps. Look, I've done this step. And at the end of January, or by the time end of January, that will happen. And so you can tell her, yeah, I did pay off my last one. So look, I'm not on baby step 2 anymore because I don't have any debt. And now I can have my full emergency fund. And so if you're doing that wrong too, you shouldn't have any extra money other than $1,000 until the debt is gone. And that goes for both of you and your mom. Let's see. Currently I have $4K in checking account. 9K in savings, so that's a no. See, that should be immediately gone. Savings, all gone to debt. 6K to that. And then you have 3K for you to add to your starter emergency fund. And 38,000 in mutual funds. If it's in a retirement account, you don't touch it. And you don't need to. It's fine because you can immediately be out of debt. Quit being dumb. By the end of February, when our 0% APR expired, I should have 0 debt, 11K in savings. And no, see, you're doing it wrong with the savings. And the mutual fund, you should not be investing while you still have debt. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong, and you're trying to get your mom to do it. So granting your problem might not be spending, like hers is. Maybe hers is a spending problem. Yours is a doing it wrong problem. So you're not really the best to tell her how to do anything. Depending on the market flows, that has nothing to do with you where you are right now. You're on baby step 2. Pay that off. Dumb as crap. I want to help my mom get out of debt. Great. And change her spending habits to avoid that happening again. How about you do the baby steps right first? Is what I would suggest. She did come to me to ask for help, and I want to help her. Okay, 46 years old. You make $110,000 a year. She may want the help, kind of help she wants is for you to pay it off for her, maybe. So, and I wouldn't recommend that because she needs to be self-sufficient and do things herself. And I want to help her start saving for retirement. Okay, that's great. She has to pay off the debt first. You have to pay off your debt first because you're doing it wrong. You want to tell her how to do it wrong as well. I wonder if people, 21 comments. I wonder if people said that. Maybe I should type in there, you're doing it wrong. Do you want to teach your mom to do it wrong too? I won't do that. I would like to take $3,000 that I have and throw it at her debt. You won't even put it at your own debt. You're being dumb as crap, lady. I think this is a lady. Doesn't say. Could be man or woman. Who knows? But yeah, you're being dumb. You're being dumb. You either don't understand the baby steps or you're choosing to not do them. And that is dumb as crap. Especially if you're trying to get somebody else to do the same thing, which is to not be doing it correctly. George, I hate to bother you twice in one show.
You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong.
The original, where is it?
You're doing it wrong.
And why not? Shazwell from Ghostbusters 2. Smart.
If everything you're doing is bad, I want you to know this.
All right. So where was the last part we are? Oh, and throw it at her debt and then hold on to her card so that she doesn't use it. She's not 3 years old. And then help her make a budget. Is this a good plan? No, you cut up the card once it's paid off. She can close the card to new charges right now. And so then you don't need it. And then you also remove that card number from the Amazon or any other apps or websites you have it on. So is this a good plan? No, it's not, because you're doing it wrong. Budgeting, a great plan. Yes, do budget. Absolutely. Both of you should be. Your budget's not being correct because you have savings. You're debt leveraging in order to have that extra savings. So that's a no. Perhaps a person that doesn't look at the baby steps and think, oh, I have to finish step 1 first, and before I do anything else, I have to finish step 2 before I have extra savings. Maybe she's trying to do all of the baby steps. She is trying to do all the baby steps at the same time because she's also investing. So you're doing it wrong. Baby steps. I gotta see if. No, it is not a good plan. There you go. You become your mother's cash flow. That's right. For that, enabling, right? That's what that would be. I want to see somebody say that you're not doing it right. Problem to help you out. She'll only get into debt again. Yeah, she needs to cancel the card and still saving. This person doesn't believe the 46-year-old mom came to her asking for help getting out of debt, right? Like I said, I thought I'd use for, hell, you give me money so I can pay this off. Pros are gonna give her the 3,000. Help her help. Is anybody telling her that she's doing it wrong? First, get yourself on the program and learn all you can. Yeah, exactly. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, you want to throw 3K at her debt? Why not throw it at your debt? Short answer, no. Choo choo choo. Powder butt syndrome. Yep, but should have 2 T's on it though. That's the thing where they don't want to. If they change your diaper, they don't want to hear from you about money and sex generally. You have to fix your situation first. You have enough in saving to knock out your debt right now. You can't help her until you help yourself. $100. I'll type it in there later. Alrighty, so fun show. Went extra today. Always forget to go back when I start playing my sounds and stuff. AJ was around. He's got to run though, and he says to take care. I will take care, Mr. AJ. Thank you so much for watching, sir, and everybody else that's watching as well. Whether you're watching now live or if you're going to watch later. Once again, youtube.com/CoachSteveMoney. My financial content is just below the Oak Island playlist. You got your Ramsey Show Aftershow show playlist and the Answering Your Financial Questions playlist as well. So there's probably about 600 or so hours of me telling people that they're doing it wrong. And other things, of course, a bunch more stuff other than that. And the music playlist has 11 Ramsey adjacent songs in there. And I'm not just some guy saying that you're doing it wrong. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach, yo. And you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation with me if you've got money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track. You can do that at calendly.com/CoachSteveMoney. You can email me about coaching or any other questions you have about anything, including what's on my YouTube channel at all. CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com. Donations can go to paypal.me/CoachSteveMoney. Alternatively, CashApp, $CoachSteveMoney, or a fun Walmart gift card to CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com. Upcoming streams will be the Ramsey Show After Show. That is Monday through Friday, following the Ramsey Show portion that's on YouTube before it goes to the Ramsey Network app at approximately 5:25 p.m. Eastern Time. And that is when I go live on the YouTubes. Alrighty. Thanks so much for watching. Again, please like, subscribe. Just like, you don't have to smash those particular buttons, but you can lightly tap them and it will serve the same purpose and perhaps save your equipment so you don't damage it. Definitely do that. And as always, make smart financial decisions every day.